All right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah. Coming with a message. I don't know how long I'm going to be with this one, but I'm just going to trust where I'm at and where I'm going with it. Okay. I do know at 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to cover a lesson, and it's going to be a lesson that's going to bring light as well as spirit and truth, but the light going to brighten up spirit and truth. A lot of things that we have been saying and we have been hearing, it's going to it bring some more light to the truth of the whole matter of it all. Okay, so I'm excited about today at 7 p.m. Central Time. I will be going live, but this message is really good too, because I'm gonna cover some ins and some outs. I'm gonna cover some things that's actually taking place in the natural as well as the spiritual. So I want you all to come join me to this evening as well as at this moment. Let me put my things because but I say unto you, this message is an awesome message, and this message and this evening message caps off my 200 videos here on this new page. 200 videos on this new page. And I will say to you all, these 200 videos are even potent than the last on my other page. And I like that because it just shows me that I'm learning. I'm learning as I go. As in this journey and the lane that he created for me, I'm actually learning. I'd say that not in a way of shock, because I tell you all, every day I learn something. Right now, I notice that if I don't get up and write down what the Spirit is saying to me in the midnight hour, when I said midnight hour, early morning hour, I forget when it's time for me to do the video. What was that power punch? It rests within me, but somewhere along the line, just the issues of life seems to erase the things that is given to me. But the good thing about it, the Ruach will bring it back to my remembrance. So it ain't like it's escaping, but he's going to bring it right back to me. So Sister Deborah, was just sitting down, doing a little study and wanting to bring forth a message. Okay. And this message is going, like I say, it's going to be a pretty, how would I say it? Food for the spirit. So I want you all to come with me because I'm going to go into all kind of chapters, verses that's going to bring food to you, your spirit. Now, if you're coming to look for food for your flesh, this is not the page, okay? Now, you might hear some things that speak of the things in the world or the things that's actually taking place or being said, but you got to understand everything that you get out of this world, you have to try to reverse it into the spirit realm to really get what is actually taking place. And this is the reason why you have so many people not understanding spirit and truth nor the light. They don't even understand, they don't even know that there is a spirit and truth. They have no idea that there is a light. You see, how dare we live, even to the very age that we are, and speak as if there's no light? Speak as if there's no spirit and truth. When Sister Deborah, been dealing with the spirit of the Most High Yah in spirit and truth and the light since I was 4 years old. It might be just, what does this here keep coming on my, it might be as well that this is the way I came into the world. Okay. I was born, which I know is really it in a handbasket. I was born to come into the world with spirit and truth and to feed it in a way that the light shine bright on the words that I'll be saying. Because I was thinking about how my older sister told me, and it was almost what, how many years? Probably 20 years ago, when she told me when I moved to Atlanta, Georgia, she was telling me, can't nobody do that but you. You got all them babies, and the only one can do that but you. Meaning that in the family, no one can do that type of move but me. And I'm the youngest. At least one, the last to the youngest. So I have my siblings are older than I am. Most of them. It's 7 of us. Okay, I'm next to the baby. You see? So what she's saying is, she said to me, she said, when you speak, I didn't want to even hear you and the words you speak, because when you talk, you scare me. You see, all this time I thought that even as a young girl in elementary, in high school, why is it that people were afraid? Here it is, my oldest sister telling me, when I speak and I open my mouth, she fears me, the words that I say. So that shows me, even to today on this devil platform, people would get offended thinking they have just reason to. They have no idea what is invested in me to speak the way I speak. They have no idea what they are in the midst of. You see, they have no idea of what their ear is hearing. They have no idea how Yah has given them the chance to sit in the midst of the word that he has instilled in one to feed them. Them were in their spirit. That's why you get people coming, sitting at the table, don't understand why they still at the table, why they continue at the table. It's because there's something in what Sister Deborah is saying that keep drawing them, but yet they just there like a zombie, just sitting at the table like a zombie. And in this day and time, because tribulation has poured up, perilous time has poured up, lawlessness has poured in, the wrath of Yah, the judgment of Yah is at hand. All of these things should be and need be. But I realize what David was saying, first and foremost, to me. If you're going to teach this thing, you got to feel this thing, Deborah. And to feel it means you got to know that you are experiencing it. So I appreciate David just warning me in chapter 23. See, I listen to them because they are my true spiritual brothers. And what do you mean? It's times where I can be just in a bubble trying to get everything and line it up. The father say, go ask David. Hey, Moses, tell her. Solomon, tell her. See, y'all thinking these people are enemies of y'all. Y'all thinking these people have failed on this earth. No, these are the seeds from the kingdom as the spiritual seeds. And we're going to learn that in this lesson and also in the lesson to this evening. We're going to learn something that we never talked about, but we have spoken about it. Was Sister Deborah going to climb on top of her own head? That means I'm going to give you what I'm learning as time go on. And this is going to be refreshing to many because it's going to bring you to a level to make you check yourself and make sure you in the right place and where you feel that you are headed. Okay, so I like to get into this message, but I also like to talk about some issues that I have experienced just listening yesterday morning, and I was listening to 4 elders. They was on one video, and they were each in separate states, and they were elders. When I say elders, they were older enough to be my father. Okay, so therefore, you have to understand that me listening to them, you all would think that because Sister Deborah have done so many videos and she teaches spirit and truth, she has the light, that she don't listen to. No. I tell you, I don't listen to them. I don't hear them. What that means is spiritual. I hear them, but I don't hear them. I don't even look at them natural, to be honest. But if truth is spoken, this ear can cling in or onto what's spoken that is truth. I said, and I think I listened to them probably maybe 10 minutes, but it was good what I heard. I closed it down. But I'm not closing it down because I don't want to hear what they're saying. I'm closing it down because what they are saying is truth. I eat the truth and spit out the bones. But what I have is when I heard them speaking, I heard them speaking in a way that many of us deny that what Sister Deborah said. But when you hear them saying it, I'm like saying, I don't even believe Judy would even hear them. And the Spirit said, they don't. So it ain't somebody that, okay. See, people, what I'm saying, truth and spirit and truth in the light, Judy is not going to hear. Y'all knows that. Sister Deborah have learned that. So these four elders, they were saying something, and then I was saying, it brought me to a level to where I kind of feel bad about me saying that same thing that they said. And I felt bad because I said they just going in circles. These Judith ain't gonna hear them. But a lot of people don't understand. When Yah is wanting someone to speak truth, it ain't that somebody may hear it. It's that his truth to who he is have hit the earth. It has come from the heavens, bam, and land on the earth. So if you thinking that the truth have to land in your lap, it has to land upon you. It has to be you. You the one lost. Truth in the whole matter is coming to land straight on the earth. It ain't coming to get your okay. It ain't coming to get your approval. It ain't coming to get your blessing. Truth is coming to speak the power that rests therein. And it's coming to hit the earth because that's what you call bringing light out of the mist of darkness. That's what it's called. It's because you're thinking the world and the earth is going to remain darkness, and darkness is going to take full control when Yah has already allowed it to do that. Now it's time for him to pull up. You see? And he's doing an excellent job because only those who have the eye to see and the ear to can hear it, can see it, can embrace it because it's so greater in them and he's revealing it to them. Those are the only one can see it. Others are sitting back saying, whatever. They can't even comprehend where they need to be because they're so busy saying where you're not that they can't even find where they should be. If I'm not where I'm supposed to be, then where are you supposed to be? You get it? This here message from these four elders that was together, and I've seen them on there before. I just never listened to them, but I took out time yesterday, about 10 minutes, if it was 10 minutes, just listening to what they were saying, and they was talking about, and what they were also doing, y'all. Let me explain something. They were blowing the trumpet. They were blowing the trumpet on the word warning. The trumpet represent a warning. Okay. A lot of you all don't understand the warning in its fullness and what the warning is and what the warning is consist of and what the warning shall always be. So, and what it stands for today. It's really what the warning is for. So I'm listening to these elders and it made me feel good. I'm gonna be honest. To see Judah elders speak. I never had an issue with the elders outside of them not knowing very much. And you would have thought they would have known much. But these elders, they was talking, they was blowing the trumpet. They was sending the warning that if you have the finance to get out of the country of the United States, get out of the country. Okay. I say unto you, getting it out of the country is not the answer, but yet it'll give you a better, how would you say, peace of mind in the flesh. It won't make anything better for you in the spirit, because the things that's happening in this country that the elders don't know, it's across the board. The system is across the board. You know how COVID came? It didn't come just to the United States. It traveled, and not traveled, it hit the four corners. Okay. So what I'm saying to you, these elders are saying that because they can see heavy things falling onto the United States, they can see tribulation and perilous times hitting this land, that if you can get out, get out. Are they out? No, they're not out. But their idea also was to go buy land far away from the city and the suburbs, just go far out, and buy land. Because when the things hit, it's going to hit now. Like I'm gonna tell you all, a lot of y'all don't understand. They don't have to mess with your bank like everybody thinking. Oh, they're gonna get our bank. They're gonna get our bank. Just like I try to explain to people, and I sit back and I've seen several videos actually back everything I said to you about a couple of months ago, that everybody that has homes, you got it today, you ain't gonna have it tomorrow. And when you see the words that I spoke come upon you, you're gonna realize that, you know what, that was the warning back then. But no one's getting, they not, people so greedy and so embedded in this country to where they want you to think that they're not set in this country. They're not for this country. They are, because they're building their tower right here in Babylon, instead of building their spirit and their light toward spirit and truth and light, and understand that no matter what you build upon in this country, those days are over. And it's hard for people to accept it, like the days of Noah, when he was telling them it's going to rain, it's going to end. They didn't accept that then. They ain't going to accept nothing that nobody else said, because they think they still building their tower here in the United States as if they're going somewhere. And these elders are saying that they're going to strip you from everything you own, everything you have. You're not going to have anything as long as you in their system and you receiving things in their system. You're paying your bills and your everything you getting. You're gonna, all that's gonna be taken from you. And like when I said the houses out, look, you guys, there are too many trumpets and horns and warnings being blown, telling you that this country is going to strip you from the very things that you think you building up on. I think of myself building up all that food and water and tissue, flashlight, candles, all kind of things I got from either the Goodwill or estate sales, different burners and different heat things that don't need electric. Thinking that, okay, this is for emergency. But what we don't want to accept, that as you go through the perilous times and the tribulation, it's telling you to flee. It's not telling you to stay here and gather and prepare right here. No, it's not. It's telling you to flee. It's telling you, don't go back. If you're in the field, don't go back for your clothes. Where's your clothes? In your house. What does it say? When you're on a rooftop, don't come down. Why? Don't come down and go in the house. Why? Because he's telling you your home ain't gonna be worth a dime. Your home ain't gonna be mounted up to what people think it is today. What these elder brothers were saying is, the warning is to be away from the things that you think you building up on to make you comfortable. But what happened is, he speaks of the heart is so hardened. You see, their heart is so hardened because they thought that living in life is what they have, what they got. That's why they hold so firm to it and can't let it go. And letting it go means allow Yah to direct you. He's not directing you to build up your empire, your everything here on the earth. Why? Those days are over. So I sat back and I told y'all, go back to some videos I had. If you go back to my old page, you'll see how many videos I've said to y'all. Somewhere along the line, this that I have saved. Now, I haven't saved anything in the last probably 2 years, but I'm just still saying to y'all, I said the things that I have saved or the canned goods dated, it's probably go out the 1st of January. I'm not going to get them anymore to keep stacking, keep stacking. No, I've been left that alone. And a matter of fact, and those that were real old that I've stored, when I gave that yard sale, because I was moving out, guess what? Those Europeans was there racking off the pallet. I had pallets of old food, dated old. And they said, but it's so much you can do with this. This one man told me this old food, if you got a farm, this is what you feed your animals. They were so delighted. They were so glad to get those items, y'all. One said, "When I don't have any food, I'm gonna grab these. I ain't gonna see with me. I was gonna put them in the dumpster. I wasn't. I'm trying to. I was trying to transition. Had not the Most High had allowed my son's father-in-law, who got a dumpster company, to say, "No, tell your mother we're gonna pull up." They pulled up with that dumpster, and I'm just showing y'all how Yah will see your need and make sure that he's there on time. He might not be there when you feel he should. And don't put no time on my father. Don't put no day, no hour, no minute, no second on him. You cannot and you shall not rule him. But that's the way the mindsets of the people. They have ruled their way of living. And that's what's wrong with a lot of Europeans. They have ruled this country in the way that they live and all that they had and all that they got, to the point they can't see nothing being taken from them, and it's taken from them every day. Now let me go back to these elders. So what I was saying about what I was storing away, I kept feeling, y'all, and in them videos, I at least made 10 videos telling y'all how I don't understand the feeling about the things that I stored away. It's like they're not for you. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're not for me. So I adopted the fact that nothing I have stored, I'm going to be able to see me use it, or it's going to benefit me. That's the only one can tell me that is the Ruach HaKodesh itself. It's the only one can seal that in me, because I have accepted it. It's been almost 2 years. It's been speaking it to me, and it spoke it to me too many times. That you see what you have stored, you ain't going to be here to use it. And I'm like, is it a good thing for me? Yes. Dead or alive, meaning in my grave or on Mount Zion. Father already sealed to me, good job, but guess what? It's being saved for somebody. So I told y'all, maybe it's for my children. That's what I told y'all. But whatever it is for, it's not a heavy thing on me anymore. You see, it's not a thing that, hey, I need to save this or save this, because the more and more I continue to live, live, I start to see that it's really as over can be. Not just for you all, but for me. See, you got to be able to feel that overness. It's over. You see, you can't preach and teach it's over and not feel that thing. So I'm so grateful to the Most High Yah and his right hand that has taught me what I need to know for a time as this and the time that is before us. So when hearing these elders, they're actually saying you need to get away out from among these things in which is going to be stricken, because all of it is coming to destroy you. It is, and kill, because that's what people are going to be out here doing. And I'm sitting here thinking back at me sitting in the park, seeing all these beautiful houses surrounding this park and seeing them. But in the vision, it showed them all tore up, some of them burnt down, windows all out, doors all open. But it was a ghost town. It was like all this beautiful community, but yet it's a ghost. It's nobody in these communities. And I'm just thinking, okay, Father, so this thing is As real as real. So while he's giving me the vision, I'm bringing it forward to you all, but it's deeper than it's over. Now we have to see him. We got to see him in this overness, this thing that's over. What do you mean? Show me what you mean if you don't understand. I understand it, but I'm saying to you all. But so when I told you go and see you, I spoke this message about all the stuff that I have gathered, that it's, I don't know who it's for, because it feels like it's not for me. And then the spirit had already told me it wasn't, that you're not going to use it. So I know that what I'm saying is 100. So this is what these elders are saying. They're saying people are preparing so much to remain where they're at. They're not thinking that, okay, let me go a little further out where he says, flee to the mountains. Flee. People who got things, they're not going to do that. They're going to do exactly what they did in the days of Lot. What the Ruach has taught me, Deborah, the day of Noah and the day of Lot is what Yeshua instilled. They don't consider it. They don't consider it from the beginning, what took place, to the end of what took place until that day. From the beginning, what was going on in Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah, and the end of it. They won't take it from that end. They want to go straight in the middle and take it from there and bring it to a level where they are willing to accept it. They don't see the end game. That even though Lot and them came out of Sodom and Gomorrah, his wife turned into a pillar of salt because she was told not to look back. A lot of people think she just turned her head back. No, baby, it was her heart, the part that Yah measured. See, in your own eyes, you think you all good, but Yah said the spirit is what I measured, Deborah. See, a lot of y'all thought he was measuring her flesh and her flesh eyes looking back. No, it was where her spirit desire, the lifestyle that was back there. It wasn't so much as her spirit desire to go back to her house and to go back to her living and to go back to her taking care of her family and cooking. And no, she was wanting to go back. And it was heavy on her spiritual heart to be back in that mess. So I saw that. Bam. See, a lot of people don't want to see my father rumble in the spirit realm because they don't want to accept it, nor do they want to feel the way he really rumbles. They want to feel it the way they want to feel it. You go right ahead. You're going to be caught out there. So these elders were talking about how to get away. And I sit back and I heard what they were saying. And I had to accept the fact that they were actually speaking truth. Because the truth of the matter is the issues that is going to take place, it's going to affect people that is in the city and in the counties of these cities. But when you out in woods or out in land, let me tell you, they coming for you too. They coming for you too. Oh, baby, they when Yah said it, I believe it, and he meant it. Okay? So it ain't nothing that you're going to escape from. But it gives you an opportunity to run. It gives you the opportunity to flee. Because while you're fleeing, he ain't telling you to flee just to be fleeing. He's telling you to flee out of obedience. Let me see if you're going to flee. He said to Lot and them, don't turn back. Let me see if you're not going to turn back. Not that he know that you're going to turn back. He just speaks like that. So when he said flee and don't on the mountaintop, don't go back. If you're on a roof, don't go back into your house. If you out on a field, don't go get your clothes. Don't go back for your clothes. It tells you, oh, let me go there. Matthew's chapter 24. We might as well go on there. Let's go there. So you can get a little bit, but no, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear nothing about, and Matthew's chapter 24 is a bang. and one thing they ain't gonna teach you and preach that thing right at all. So when they were talking about they weren't talking about Matthew, but they were talking about, he said, flee. Let me go to Matthew's chapter 24. In Matthew's chapter 24, okay, and let's go to verse 16. In Matthew chapter 24 and verse 16, then let them which be in Judah flee unto the mountains. So he's letting you know if you out in that area, you go heading to the mountain. Well, wait a minute. But they got a house. They got property. They got business. They got a bank account. You see? They investing in. Yeshua is talking about fleeing. Because to flee is also a form of judgment. It's warning, it's not warning, it's going to show you really who you represent. Are you going to flee when I say flee? Or are you going to stand here and say, but no, I got to get a moving truck, or I got to take this, I got to take this, or I got to take my rent. Here. Keep on running around here thinking it's about you and that you're going to protect your family. You're going to protect your comfort zone. You're going to be the one. This tells you that you're not who you think you are because the trust was supposed to be in him all the time. This is why I, Sister Deborah, can look and see that I have nothing to trust in outside of y'all. And I give him glory and honor and praise because he leads me with my daily bread to keep me from having anything that will separate me from him. And where is my trust? In him. Do you think people who sitting out here think it's about them living high on the hog? Them having this, having this, having this, having this, having this, or I got my food and water in it. You think it's about all of that? When listen to what verse Matthew's chapter 24 said in verse 16. Then let them which be in Judah flee unto the mountains. He's letting you know if you over there in the land, okay, of Jerusalem, if you over there, and no matter really where you at, you got to look at it in the spiritual realm. Flee. Where are you fleeing from? Everything you own. And then you sit at Sister Deborah, look at me all cockeyed like I don't know what I'm talking about. You's a liar from your father of lies that you support. You see? Because even Yeshua is telling us in some form, could they smear it? Yes. Could they add? Yes. Could they take away? Yes. But Yeshua is saying something about fleeing to the mountain. He's telling us right when, and he's telling us right during the time he's about to tell you about, he's telling us about tribulation. Same time. Now listen to this in verse 7. Let him which is on the housetop not go down to take anything out of the house. Well, wait a minute, what you mean? It's something about your house, your natural house, that you're going to update. And you're sitting here thinking I'm just talking when I say I'm waiting for that moment he'd allow them to take everything you have. Because that's the only way that's going to get you to see who you really trust in. As long as you have, you ain't thinking about Yah. Oh yeah, you said you are, but Yah is the type that he stripped you from everything you have, and then your true identity pull up and show out. That's all it takes is a person. A man can lose a job that he didn't had for 20 years. Either he gonna commit suicide, he's gonna rob, kill, he might even kill his whole family. Why? For 20 years I had. So that means I'm only comfortable based on what I have. That's the real deal in the natural. That's the real deal. So what would y'all do? What is y'all doing? He's letting you know by blowing the trumpet and the warning. And that's why I feel really good about hearing those 4 elders come on one accord. And each one is from a different state, but they're in one accord. And this is the problem. I know that it's a sad thing. No one can come to one accord on spirit and truth in the light because they're so offended by what you said, what you're teaching, how you reacting, how you pronouncing words, they so offended because they don't want you to say nothing that's going to interfere with their daily bread. And their daily bread is on the natural. Sister Deborah speak to you in the daily bread on the spirit. I even gave you an example how me myself, when I remember when I was staying in Georgia, and I said to the Father, when they'll teach me to accept your daily bread. When I said that, yeah, my whole world switched. Y'all wouldn't give me nothing beyond nothing. Even when people donate or give, not don't yet donate or give an offering, they might think that, hey, okay, this is it. You way up there now, or you okay now. No, baby, let me tell y'all something. When you understand what the daily bread is, then you already know what Deborah is talking about. Because let me tell you another thing. You can't understand the daily bread unless Yah has got you living under the promise of his daily bread from him to you. You ain't going nowhere. Your daily bread is the way you make things go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, everything is together. Everything is paid. I got this to pay that. That's your daily bread. That's a worldly daily bread. When the flesh is able to take care of their daily needs. That's why I can tell somebody something. I'm on the opposite side in the spirit realm. And how I gave you that example is being in the ocean. You know how I tell y'all the difference in those who are far out in the ocean. But Sister Deborah just in the ocean. And I be crying out to the Father, can I get a breather? I always ask the Father, can I get a breather? But you know what? It's not a time that I asked him, can I get a breather, that he didn't let me up for a breather. So I'm going to give all glory and honor to the Most High Yah. I'm going to give him that. Father, thank you. Thank you. Because I'm just sitting here saying it and realize, but it ain't a time that you didn't ask to come up, Deborah, that I haven't let you up. Why? Because your daily bread consists of you being down. And only way I can get you all to understand it, like Yeshua was trying to teach them through the parables, is through a parable. My parable is I'm in the ocean. No, I'm not out there in the deep, way out in the deep in that parable where I say they drive the people way out in the deep to the people never able to see dry land again. Dry land is spirit and truth. Dry land is the light. They can't see the light, nor can they see or hear spirit and truth. Why? They too far out in the deep. When Sister Deborah is in the deep, not far out, but in the ocean. And it's like going down and just drowning, enduring, long suffering, just drowning. But guess what? A few days ago, I realized, I said, I always talk about that in my example, because you know why also I bring that up is because my ex-husband always bring it up to me. When I first met him, I explained him, hey, he'll tell y'all. This sister been telling and saying this way before she even got on YouTube. You see? And I would tell him, and you know, this my spiritual life is like in the ocean, and I'm drowning. And I'm gonna be honest, when it's going too deep, I said, Father, I need to get up for a breath. He do. And sometimes he just let me up even before I can ask. But that's going back, showing you the daily bread is really what it is. It's a spiritual, your spirit where it's at in him. And so I'm going down, and I'm like saying, can I get a breather? Can I just get up? And getting up to get a breather is coming up from the bottom of the ocean all the way up to the top. I'm on the top floating. I'm getting a breather. And that breather is a breather of reality of what's actually taking place. Okay? And just being able to breathe the reality of what's natural, that is a part of what spiritual is teaching you. And it's just getting up to get a breather because I feel like I'm drowning all the time. Seem like I'm deep. But a few days ago, the Spirit told me while I was in the tub, he said, did you ever realize while you're in the ocean, you feel like you're drowning, but I'm with you? So if you really, really drowning, Deborah, I'm drowning with you. I just love when he have to correct me and get me to understand that you're not down at the bottom of the ocean. The same one bring you up is down there with you. You see? So going back to what these four elders were talking about, I was able to embrace what they were saying because it was truth. People are so embedded in preparing here right now because that's their comfortable spot, to where for years they should have been speaking to their children. They should have been speaking to their wives, like all these Hebrew Israelites. They should have been speaking to their wives. They should have been speaking to their husbands, and instead preparing them for the light that's in them and spirit and truth is in them, but they don't. So that those that are in the house would know the same situation that they are in. I don't care how small they are. I raised my kids on what I believe in, and that is spirit and truth in the light. Whether they are the serpent seed or the spiritual seed, it was in that house. Look how Lot came out, and his better half, which his wife, didn't. Come on now. Don't mess with my father and think you know him. Think you got him packed down. So what happens? Listen to Matthew 24. It says in Matthew 24, verse 16, let them, there you go, them which be in Judah, flee into the mountains. And the mountains got S on it, letting you know, go up, go somewhere else. Flee. Now watch this here. Verse 17, let him which is on the housetop not come down. Come down to what? To take anything out of the what? The house. When I tried to explain to y'all thought I was harsh. I was evil. I was wicked. No, the time gonna come where they gonna snatch everything you got, and the first thing got to go is your home. Why? Because people, you're in the world, and you're too rooted in it to see that you're not in the way of the spirit. When this tribulation is right here looking at you, and you looking at even tribulation cockeyed. Y'all said you're looking at perilous time cockeyed. You're looking at this lawlessness out here cockeyed. You're looking at his judgment on the earth cockeyed. You're looking at his wrath on the earth cockeyed. And you're sitting here looking at his servant cockeyed. And you the one that have the eyes cocked all over the place, because the truth of the matter, I'm running in the lane that the Most High has called me to. Where is your lane and what is it called? Or are you in it, or do you know? Okay, so listen to it. It's telling you in verse 17 of Matthew's, don't go back down to take anything out of the what? The house. Now watch this here. Neither let him which is in the fields return back to take clothes. His clothes. What does that mean? Don't go running back trying to get your clothes out of where? The house. And you will sit here and think I'm wrong because I said I'm waiting for y'all to take everybody's houses. You know why? Because I know where they heart rests. They're in. They think it's about what they have, what they're building up on, and what they people got business. People got property. People got land. People got everything so rooted in this country to where they saying to the Father, hey, I don't care about Noah and the ark. I don't care about Solomon and Gomorrah. I'm staying where wife spiritual heart was, back in the devil's den. That's the heart of people today. I can preach that thing. I can preach that thing. Okay, so when you look at these here, it's actually trying to tell you that your wealth and your finances in, it's going to be your worstest downfall, your worstest enemy. He's saying, get out of your house. Whether you're on a rooftop, don't go back down and go in that house. Whether you're in the field, don't go in that house. Leave your house and go to the mountains. Now watch this here, verse 19. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. He's letting you know this horrible time. Make sure that your flight is not during the winter, because that's going to be the hardest time. You know how Biden said dark winter? See, they even know that there's something's taking place in the winter season. The winter season is the dead season. And we're going to cover that I might do it this evening, but we're going to cover that because when he made the fourth season, he made them to affect your body. Okay? To affect your body and your spirit. Let's put it like that. So when you see the creation of Yah, like the sun is not just there to give you light in the day, but it's there to give you more than what the natural mindset would think. You see? It's something in the spirit that the sun is created for. But we can't go that route. We got to go only the way that man has taught us and the way that we are only willing to believe that the sun is only for this. Let me show you how crazy it is. Look at us that are melanated. We don't have no idea how the sun really helps us because we that ignorant. We that stupid type of people. We don't take value to what Yah has created. Everything he's created, he created it for us, not against us, but for us. That's why Satan can't be your worst enemy than you yourself to yourself. Satan ain't the one making you be the way that you are, to do the things that you're doing. So that's why Satan ain't going to be with you come judgment, standing next to you, said, oh yeah, I caused her to do that. Or y'all gonna say, I know it, you wasn't you. He was saying, no. Y'all know that when he breathed in you, he gave you a spirit like unto his image, a spirit. What you do when you come down here is your destiny from up there. Stand down, clowns. Okay? Now, watch this here. In verse 19, it says, woe unto them that are with child and to them that give sucking in those days. What days are those? See there? Going back to trying to warn you with the trumpet. See, Yeshua was warning you. The disciples were warning you. Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, Solomon was warning you. David was warning you. Everybody warning you, but you're standing your tail all cockeyed today, acting like ain't no warning been put forth. And hear his servants, the least of the least, speaking that powerful warning and blowing that powerful trumpet all over again. Why? Because Yah is not going to let darkness get the victory of nothing. That's why light pulling up darkness in this end day. Is it going to change darkness? Those that are rooted in darkness? No. That's why not a verse, not a video. He said, gonna move nobody, gonna change nobody. They're in it for the long haul, and they don't even understand what the long haul is. It's eternal. Okay, so verse 20 says, but pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither be on the Sabbath day. For then shall be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. See, everybody looking at it wrong. They're not hearing the voice of the sons of Yah. I got to say that, start saying that. The sons of Yah. They're not hearing them because we are to flip from servants to sons. Because now we are now in the kingdom only as sons and not servants. Okay? So when you flip from servants to the son, heaven sees you as the son, no longer sees you as a servant, but yet you're a servant on the earth because you're still serving the Father. But he now locks you in as his sons. See? Because you're switching from servants to sons. So here it ran into all of these where it's telling you about come out of your house, flee. Because they can't flee to the mountain. Where are you fleeing from? Home, your living quarters, your place of assurance in your flesh. How you going to know who you are is when you're able to step out of it and realize, wait a minute. You mean that's going to be my downfall? Yes. When Sister Deborah tried to tell y'all, there's a time where y'all is allowing them, and they're already at that limit to where they're going to strip, and none of y'all are hearing it. Y'all hearing what you want to hear because you're born of the flesh. I know that. But it ain't gonna stop me from speaking spirit and truth and the light on this devil platform. I know this the devil platform. I know this is the table that Psalms 23 was talking about. David was talking about in the presence, in the presence of your enemy. People will sit here and look at me. Let me say, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, and still have hatred. Why? Because the words that I speak, which is truth. And Yeshua said that throughout his whole walk. All because I speak the truth. Do you hate me? Same thing with Cain and Abel. Because Abel was here to do what was righteous and truth. And he was here to do the opposite. What did he do? He killed him. So you walk your tail around here thinking about everything is about what you say, what you think, and what you feel. You go right ahead. I know why I'm the least. Because I'm going straight through that narrow gate. That's why. I know the way. How about that? See if you can find it. So when I heard these elders speak, they brought forth the idea that the word fleeing is letting you know. It's teaching you how to flee from your comfort zone because it's not your real comfort zone. Because the only one going to comfort you is the Most High Yah. That's your comfort zone. That's your comfort zone. But in the minds of people, they have no idea. Why do you think people won't unite? They won't unite because they feel they got too much to invest if they had to unite. Why won't people come on one accord? Because they figure they have to give up too much. To come on one accord, I have to give. I have to do this. Oh no, I can't do that. I see things different. I feel about different things. And that's who they are. That's who they are. So me understanding David telling me that Deborah, he built you a table in the presence of your enemy, baby. But that's the only way he's going to anoint your head with oil, in the presence of your enemy. What is that actually telling you, Deborah? Like unto the house of Israel that are the seed of David. I mean, the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See, people don't understand there are two seeds. There's a seed of the flesh and there's a seed of the spirit. The only way you become the sons of Abraham, the real sons of Abraham, which is the kingdom sons of Abraham, you got to be spiritual seed, not fleshly seed. So that ain't going to get in. It's just like your children. You can have 10 kids, and I can guarantee you 10 kids ain't going to the same eternal destiny just because they come from you. Well, that's the same thing with Abraham. Ishmael is not the promise. The promise to where, Father? To eternal. A lot of y'all thought it was just to the Mount Zion or to the earthly matter. No, baby. The promise is the promise to eternal life. Hello, you lost it again because you never had it. See, people look at that promise and say, wait a minute, no, the promise, we the people, we Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Sure you are. You are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Ishmael was Abraham. Was not he? But he's not the promise. The promise is eternal. Kingdom of heaven. You see how y'all been taught the lie? The ball been dropped and you've been running behind somebody's mouth and somebody's teaching to teach you that which is spirit and truth and the light. You ain't nobody taught you nothing. Because the promise is not the promise of the flesh. It is the promise of the spirit. That's why the true promise is about to take place in Mount Zion, and y'all gonna be dead in the mist. You know why? Because the promise is holy. The promise is spiritual. The promise is eternal. You make it to Mount Zion, you in their eternal heaven. You didn't know that, did you? That's the promise, y'all. The promise is not a bloodline. It's a spiritual line. Sit down. Stop acting out here like a clown. So as these men were teaching, I got kind of embedded in what they were saying because I was saying that that's the hope that I had with the Most High Yah as far as getting away from the city and the suburb, going into a spot where there's land. Now, it's the same thing that's going to happen out that way as it will in the cities, in the suburbs, in the counties, but you have a better chance of being able to run even from there to wherever you need to go. You see, not to say that the same Yah in the city, in the suburb, is everywhere. He gonna find what's not find. He's gonna get what is his. Y'all don't know that power. Don't mess with my father. Because that right hand don't need to look for you. That right hand know you. So when you talking about an ID, they talking about an ID, electronic ID. Let me tell you something. The electronic ID is trying to mimic that right hand of my father, which is Yah's power that knows your going and your coming, your up and your downs. It knows every string of hair, what's under your nasty feet. So all they're trying to do is mimic something on the earth, but you better step in on the spirit side and try to grip those things that's on the spirit realm, because all it leads up to is who you trust. Tribulation, perilous times, lawlessness, the wrath of Yah, the judgment of Yah, the fire that's kindled on the earth. He's allowed the principalities to now land on earth, has to do with who you gonna trust in now. Let's see who you trust in now. Because see, a lot of people haven't trust in him. None whatsoever. These things need be just to bring everything into the right alignment. So those that trust in this go this way, those that trust in this go this way. But those that have trust in what they have, what they got, what they built on, what they stored, everything, that's their trust. It's going to be too extra hard to leave all that they done built up on to go in the way of leaving it all. That's why Sister Deborah tried, and many people thinking that Sister Deborah is really wanting something from them. That's the ignorance of their flesh. People who are born of the flesh steps in ignorant reasons. Why not? But yet they sit at the table. But now that David told me, he prepared a table, Deborah, in the presence of your enemy. And did not I tell you this devil is a devil platform? This is the table. And just because they're at the table don't make them not your enemy. It makes them your enemy. Because when you say left, they go right. When you say up, they go down. So you know that you're in the presence of your enemy. Because they can sit and listen to you and eat from that table where Yah is anointing your head with oil. And your cup is overflowing. Why is your cup overflowing? Because the anointing is the rewards in the kingdom. That cup is being overflowed over. Like this cup just filling with coffee. This anointing just running over for your gifts in the kingdom. While you at the table, your presence on the other side of your table is your enemies. See, you didn't get it, did you? Because your eyes are all cocked up and cocked over each other. Y'all ain't gonna let you get it. So that's why I said that when David brought that to me, I'm like saying, David, why couldn't I have known this a year ago, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? I would have. But it's never too late for Yah to want you to understand that you are enduring. You are long suffering. But what did I say, Deborah? Until the end will be what, Deborah? You see, people don't even understand. You got to endure something. And I'm not talking about having cancer. I'm not talking about having enemies. You have to endure what Yah has placed you in the midst of. And you got to sit there with your cup and bowing down. That's how the oil is running straight into your cup, because you're bowing down, praying to the one that's pouring the oil upon your head. Because you know that's how your anointing is given unto thee. But the cup itself represent overflow for what? The spiritual gift that he has restored in the kingdom. That's why I say, if people don't understand, don't come among me. Don't sit amongst me. Because it'll let you know, are you worshiping the devil? Or are you that enemy on the other side of my table? Yes, you are. Because if I say do something, you best bet. If I'm sitting here telling you stupid tales, that I am under what Yah called my daily, that it ain't nothing that you can give me that can supply me what my daily bread has not set up for me. But what you can do, sit at the table, pretend to eat, and serve as the enemy on the other side of the table. Wake up. I'm speaking to somebody that's out there. Understand. Y'all prepare a table in the presence of your enemies. And the enemy sits on one side and you on the other side. Know that that's the time and how y'all anoint your head with oil. He ain't gonna anoint your head with oil in the presence of your how would I say it? Those that are the sons of Yah, in the presence of those that serve Yah. He's gonna anoint your head in the presence of your enemy because you sitting there with your head bowed down, trusting in him, and he's pouring oil in your head and it's overflowing in your cup. David ain't moving from the table because the enemy on the other side. And David said, for sure, I'm in the kingdom. David said, for sure, Deborah, where am I? And I read completely. David said, hey, for sure, I'm in the kingdom. I'm afraid of the gospel. I know it's the power of that right hand. I'm afraid to speak spirit and truth. Because I know that that's what my page is consist of. Spirit and truth and the light. Telling people what spirit and truth. Yes. Does it hurt people? Yeah. Because the hurt come from within when they are without. Deborah, you didn't went that far. Yes. The hurt is from within. Rolling out. Because they don't have. So it hurts from the inside. It's who a person is from the inside. That can't come on one accord with the same spirit that's in Sister Deborah. So as these men were talking, and they said something that was very powerful. So it made me realize that's what they're doing. They must be doing that. And they were talking about all of them are retired and how people better get ready. And the readiness is not what you have gotten stored for you and yours. See, that's where the problem is at. Because when we go out and flee, we better hope we run into those that are also fleeing out of obedience of the spirit. Because you're going to run into those who are not of the spirit of Yah seed. You're going to run into those who are not. But most people who run into those that are not are running into their own kind. Why? Why do you say that, Deborah? Go on, tell them, baby. Let me say that again. When it's time to flee, it's telling you you're going to flee from all your materialistic things because that's where your heart is built up on. So you're going to get probably 80% that ain't going to flee because they got too much invested in their worldly matters that makes up who they are in their heart. So those that going to flee, you're going to run into those who are fleeing because they see everybody as fleeing, but they don't have the right heart. So as they begin to flee, you're going to notice only one way they're going to flee. Two ways, always in the spirit realm. The narrow gate or the broad gate. So even though you fleeing, understand that broad gate going to be fleeing because they see you fleeing. And they see that it's good for them to flee. They're going to be fleeing too. But they got a gate. There's only two gates that Yah created. Just like my lane, two gates. Two gates for you to flee to. You're going to flee in the right direction or you're going to flee in the wrong direction. And he said, very few shall find the right direction. So you keep on running your tail around here thinking you know everything. You so impact with spirit and truth and the light. But Sister Deborah here to tell you, I took what David said. The presence of the enemy at the table that I sit at reminds me of the devil platform. Being on this devil platform, constantly telling people, don't sit at this table and don't eat of it, because when you do, and you're not for what Sister Deborah is talking about, and I know what I'm for, stand down, get away from the table. But if you sit there, all you doing is a reward. I'm getting rewarded while you sit at that table and eat all that you think you eating. It ain't gonna get you nowhere, because what? On the other side of the table is my enemies. I'm on one side, the enemy on the other. Who's getting the oil poured down in their head? You see, it's the same thing. David left that for us who will be experiencing that. I don't come to this devil platform to play with you. Okay, so let's get back to these four elders. So what they were saying was so true, because they were telling people the truth of the warning and blowing the trumpet, saying, get out, go in the right direction, y'all. Have a different mind frame. And they speaking of first they go out would say, if you got money to get out of town of this country, do so. But what the system is it's not a system that only is geared to the United Snakes of America. United Snakes is the fall, but the country is geared to that system of control, that system that is prepared to control and destroy and to take and to kill. Okay, that's the system. But Babylon is a part of that system. But Babylon is the only country that's coming down. Okay, so all the other system is going to have that digital, which a lot of them already do, ID. And he was saying that they were saying, it's like this other pastor was saying, get away from you're going to have to be able to deny the digital, because it's going to be what going to control you. It's going to set you places. It's going to lie to you. It's going to take everything from you. Now, see, this is the problem that I have as a prophetess in the wilderness. How is it, Father Yah? The question must be applied to. How is it, Father Yah? The question must be applied to. Is the system setting them up to take everything they got and be in control? When Yah has given you the control over what he has given you to be blessed, to have, to be able to do the things you're doing and to have the things you have, and you take it as if greed, self-centered, me, mine. If it wasn't for this one individual on my platform, I would not be on this platform, because you know what? My kids will tell you, my mama going the highway and byway. I sure will. And I'm not afraid. I've used to do that. If this platform wasn't here, or if I wasn't on here, and what I mean is, this individual has how would I say it, has donated and has how would I say it, given offerings for every last one of the enemies to sit at this table. To sit at this table. And guess what? At the table is I, who speak spirit and truth, to give those that has an ear to hear, and those who have an eye to hear, to see spirit and truth in the light. Knowing that I am the servant of Yah, that in the kingdom I'm the son. We are the sons. It's impossible for that individual to have blessed me. And like I said, if that person never give again, they good. They good for the kingdom, because the kingdom told them, everything that you give unto that one, which I sent down there, you're going to receive everything that the one that got sent down here, you're going to receive everything they're going to receive. So when my cup is overflowing, guess what? The same as the one that has supported Sister Deborah for every last one of y'all. Is it a sad thing? It's a sad thing. But that's a part of what Yah is talking about, endurance. That's a part of being endurance and long suffering, is to see one individual support Sister Deborah out of how Yah has blessed that individual. And like I said, this is not to say that that person have to continue, because I'm a living witness here today to tell that individual right here on this devil platform so all the devils can hear it. That all the rewards that heavens has already put up beside my name. The lane that I'm running in, guess what? Yah has included that individual. You know why? I told you I live my daily bread. And if I have to come up out of the ocean to breathe, who is Yah using? His. He using his own. Others like to play this personality thing, this feeling, this me, mine. And the greatest thing is hate and greed. Hate and greed come together. A lot of people don't know that. But this individual, I'm glad the Father allowing me, because I wasn't going to even talk about this. But this individual has done this. And if this individual cut off today, guess what? In the kingdom, it don't matter. This individual have given Sister Deborah the daily bread, in which Yah has assigned them to. So he said, you give a drink to her. Everything that prophet received in the kingdom for the labor, you are listed with just as much reward as that prophet. I know it. That's not something somebody want to hear. But when your heart is wicked and hardened, thinking that you make Sister Deborah's daily bread, Yah wants you to know. Understand David's a table that Yah prepared. There was enemies on one side and David was on the other. Hello. It didn't stop the enemy from being on one side and David being on another one. And the oil still poured into David's head and it runs in the cup. And the individual all the time has to be the one that supply Sister daily bread. Because everybody that sits their tails on this devil platform tend to feel that they don't have to, or they limited, or my emotions or my feelings have to lead me to do what I need to do. The enemy still will give, but they give out of the wrong heart, because they think that if I give this, that I've done my duty. That's people. I don't have to do this here no more. I don't have to ever feel that it's needed. The Father in heaven saw me. He ain't seen you do nothing. Because your flesh seen yourself do it. Y'all said that's not the way I rumble. If I were to pass away today, that individual have given to Sister Deborah to really make Sister Deborah see that Yah is approving everything that you're doing. And it's not in vain, Deborah. Even if I got to send one. And if you don't receive from that one, always use it as a testimony that I son that one. And if that one stop, guess what? It's still, that individual still that one that Yah used, because Yah used that individual to pour all of a blessing upon my head. Did it make me rich? Did it make me go out and get land? Did it make me go get it? No. It just took care of that daily bread that Yah has me under. And yet keep feeding me food for the spirit and giving me, making sure my light is bright so I can keep that before the one. And that one is those who are in the body of Hamashiach, which is many. But don't think that individual, and I said to the Father all the time, it should not be this way. I told individual in this one video, it's time. It's time. It wasn't a donation. It was a, what was it? It was, not the donation. It's time for an offering. Go back There always been a time that y'all wanted people to understand you must give an offering. But what do people do? That one that been blessing Sister Deborah all this time, that really got Sister Deborah still on this Deborah platform. I'm like, I wasn't talking to you. I wasn't talking to you. But the one already knew in their spirit that no one else would respond. And I had no idea why they knew that, how they knew it. But something in them knew it. But they respond. That individual respond. For many that would not respond, and they telling the Father, as he said to me, it's not that they doing it to you, Deborah. They doing it to me. They doing it to me. Now, if you were Satan, he'll be in the churches. Everybody begin their tithes and offering. But they want to make you evil, Deborah, so they can feel like they righteous. So when I told you everything you have going to be taken from you, it's going to be taken from those who so greed and so that's where their trust is at. It should never be that one individual feels the need to give an offering to where, because this individual by spirit knows that no one would and no one did. But that same individual I'm talking about. Should this individual give an offering? No. Because this individual is always giving. People think because they give few pennies that's it. How did I get here, Father? We got a good topic going on. I'm not going to even cover my topic, but I'm going to go your route, Father. I'm just showing you how this fit into the message. Go back not into your house to take nothing, because everything people that are wicked and evil think is what's in their household. It makes them all that. What they got, they materialistic. I don't care. He coming for me. I got it. I got it. I got it. And they make it who they are. So they ain't gonna run. They ain't gonna flee what they got. Y'all can't even get them to give an offering to his servant that's feeding them spirit and truth. And they keep pulling up at the table like they entitled. You are entitled. Come on to the table, baby. I'm going to start announcing it. Y'all come on in the room. Come to the table. Because David says, the table in the presence of his enemies. Because there, while you sit at my table, that y'all created for me to sit at, you're going to be on one side, I'm going to be on another. Who's going to get the anointed poured on them? I don't think it'll be you. So you see what Sister Deborah been trying to tell y'all on this Deborah platform? You ain't who you think you are. Go on somewhere and sit down. Because that journey to flee is only going to be fulfilled in those who believe that Yah has his light and his servants here representing him. And not the world who feel this is my choice. I don't have to do anything. I ain't giving anything. His word is free. Yes, go to that book and get it free. Because everything about Yah is free. Even the kingdom, you think it's free for you to enter in? You think Mount Zion is free for you? See if you go there, if it's so free for you. See when that tribulation is where it's at and it's going to step in. I keep telling y'all, that tribulation going to step so hard into people, they ain't going to know what hit them. They're going to get out there trying to run and somebody going to meet them at oh, Father, y'all, that's sad. They're going to meet them right where they at and take whatever little they running with. Because first and foremost, a lot of them ain't going to leave their homes because that's where their trust is at. That's where they believe. So I listened to those guys and I liked what they were saying because they were talking about exactly what I've been teaching. I can't wait till he take all that from people. Because that's what's going to determine who's who and what's what. It's going to let you know the darkness and how ugly the darkness has always been present before us. When they clown, you see, that's what's happening here today. Okay? So I like them speaking on that. But one thing they did, those elders were speaking on that I also like. I like the idea of they saying how we are to unite. We are should be coming on one accord. Listen to this here. Listen to this. It says in verse 16, then let them which are in Jordan, flee into the mountain. Them. You really think he's talking about the world? He knows the world ain't gonna give up what they got. He knows you ain't gonna give up your homes, your business, your property, and nothing you got. If you couldn't give an offering to the servant of who he sent to serve, you ain't gonna give nothing. You ain't giving that house up, that car up. You ain't giving nothing. So get ready to set your table where you at. Okay, get some locks on your door and get everything you got to get, because what Yah is telling you, this is a spiritual thing that's going to take place, and ain't nothing you going to have in your house, ain't nothing you going to have in your car, your home, your land, your nothing is going to save you. Mm, 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 mm. And I like verse 16, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 16. It says, let them. So he's not telling you alone. He's telling you as them. Now watch this here. It telling you in verse 19, woe unto them, the women that's going to be with child. He's letting you know this ain't just a Sister Deborah thing. But what these elders were talking about was the fact that them coming together, and even though they're in different states, they were saying that if each one of them put whatever they got together, it'll be more than $1 million. And that's what they're doing. And they in different states because they already know, not because they know in the flesh, but in the spirit, that this is real business that's going to take place. That's before us. It's no need in waiting for the digital ID. When they shoot that in, that's going to mean everything you own going to a digital ID where they can control it. They can tell you when to use it, how to use it, when they're going to pay your bills for you all. They're going to do everything. They're doing it in other countries. They're going to measure who you owe. They're going to take from you who you owe. And when it's time for you to think you got, you ain't going to have, because they were going to control it. Yah is also letting you all know, that's the beauty of the Father. It ain't nothing coming up on us that he ain't prophesied or warned us about. But we so stubborn in our flesh to where we don't want him to say nothing. It's the way we feel. We think it is. It's going our way. You see? So I like that, because then he began to talk about the day, in those days, tribulation, great tribulation. They don't see that word great because they don't think Yah is about what he's saying, say what he's about. And you shouldn't. If you're on the other table of Sister Deborah, you shouldn't believe nothing I say on one side. And even if you do, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing, because you still the enemy on the same table that Yah has created for Deborah to sit at. You still the enemy on the other side. See, they don't get that, Father Yah. That's deep what David was saying. And that's what? Psalms 23. That's very powerful. That's a message to teach and preach in any place of true worship. Because that tells you right there. Who is this other person on one side? And who is the enemies on the other side? That's how we live, with the enemy on the opposite table of where we are at. And as long as we can endure, we're going to be saved. That's why they all are being poured out on us. Okay? So these guys was talking about how they are uniting. And if they were to unite, just to let us know, all four of them coming together would give them more than $1 million. And they're planning on getting land and just going out, because it takes away, it takes away the worry about them taking food from you, them controlling your bills, controlling your water, controlling your going and your coming, and to controlling everything. But if you start to live away from all of that, then you'll see the impact. But what people are Is they afraid because their trust is not where they portray it is. If your trust is in Yah, then you trust in that whatever it is that we need to do to separate ourselves from the way of the world and how they see and live and preparing for their living and their days to come, we have to be the opposite, you see. But what is happening, I believe, it's selfish and greedy. It's selfish that people who can't even um, understand anything, they just feel that everything is a ripoff. Somebody taken from them. Now, Sister Deborah on this side, on one side of the table, and over on this same side that the enemy is on, is a system that's taken from them right as I speak. They've been taken from them since they was born. Even the day of their birth, took their birth certificate and claimed it. Oh yeah, you see, been taken from them, their mamas, their mama, then their daddy, they all way. But they can't see they being robbed that way because when you are born of the flesh, you see the ways of the flesh. You provide for the way of the flesh. You are assured and you are approved by the way of the flesh. You see, you thinking because you sitting at the table with David that truly because I'm at the same table. No, you don't understand who orchestrated that table to be there. Yah himself. Why? So he can anoint his anointed ones with oil. It ain't about you sitting at the other side of the table being the enemy. What did I tell y'all over and over and over? You ain't going to hinder nothing that Yah has prepared for Sister Deborah. And if he know he got what he need to see to it that he provide that, when he's going to do that. He ain't going to answer to you. You ain't nobody, but not something to yourself. You, your body in your flesh to yourself. Please yourself, pleasure yourself. But this tribulation ain't coming to break the light, to bust the light out. No, it's coming for the darkness to feel a little something, and to leave the light on home. These same one at the table are going to be running, fleeing, because they think that they flee into something to steal, portray. No, baby, we got two gates you're going to flee to. You're going to either flee to the broad, but you ain't coming to the narrow. Not if you sat at that table, the enemy of David, the enemy of Sister Deborah, and think that you're going to flee to that narrow gate. That's a place where very few shall find. Only one going through that gate is those who are in tune with the Father in the kingdom that he has assigned to be a part of spirit and truth and the light. They are the only one going to find their way. It ain't that we are finding it because we're in the flesh. It's because our spirit is going to find that way. Your spirit going to find your tail in the broad gate because you fall under that category of the enemy on one side. Hello. And y'all think y'all stupid. You the one stupid. Okay. So I like the idea of these guys and the way they're teaching and how they're teaching the warning and blowing the trumpet. They're not out trying to blow something. They out blowing the trumpet and the warning. And the trumpet is a warning to the people. You know, get out of these locations and let me tell you, ain't nothing better than preparing that way now. But what happened is, if you have not prepared your household for nothing but greed, and that greed is what I have, what I got, and I share none of what I have with no one. But this is mine. This is this. This is this. You right. You're gonna remain. You the one that's gonna stay up, come down the rooftop. Oh, I gotta go in the house and get my keys to my car. I gotta go in the house and get my belongings. I gotta check. I gotta this. I gotta that. I gotta get my digital ID so I have this on the journey. That's who you are. Because you think your way to Yah is the way of darkness that you've been living. Because you have it just remind me of right now, back in the days, he said, Deborah, what did I tell you? Israel and Judah, never. If I say light, they go dark. If I say up, they go down. This is a people that been created this way. This is a people whose way is already set in them. And then the others were to be the light to the world. Why? Because that's who Christ, Hamashiach, came to be. And if we are the sons after Christ, and we his sons, then what do that make us? We got to be the light. Why people don't understand, you either going to follow the way of those that are the light, or you follow the ways of those that are of the darkness. And if you think your materialistic things and what you have make you who you are, you go good. You go so good with those who are going to be fleeing, but they fleeing to the broad gate. Because they're going to see everybody else going. And their own spiritual heart going to lead straight to that broad gate. It ain't going to take you to the narrow. But I am saying that I am so appreciative toward the fact that the Father continued to teach me, and I'm learning as I go. I don't have it all. Didn't say I did and never will. But I thank the Father for allowing me to know what he gives me. And I thank him for those 4 men, elders that were speaking, because it was so refreshing to hear what they were saying and how the trumpet and the warning is being blown. And that's their whole idea, is to prepare to get out, to get away, not prepare to stay in, because you ain't going to beat it. They're going to take away, they're going to first and foremost, before that digital start, they're going to line that digital ID with Social Security, the retirement, a disability, every government funds, especially government jobs. They're going to line all those up into the digital system. And you're not going to be able to receive anything until you come down and take the picture and let them scan you all over to put you into a system. When Sister Deborah, that little retirement I have, I ain't even looking forward to it. I'm going to run. I'm going to take that option. I'm going to run. And like I told y'all, which I'm not going to repeat again. No, I'm going to repeat it because it goes straight through, in and out to those that's in darkness. So it doesn't matter. The seeds. I remember how many years? Oh, that was a long time ago. A long time ago, probably 8 years ago, maybe even longer, when the Father was telling me to collect seeds. And I never understood, how will I be fleeing, Father, and planting at the same time? He said, no, take the seeds. Each seed can be a meal, even if it's as small as a mustard seed. Each seed is going to represent a meal. So if I don't take no water, no nothing, he's telling me the seeds alone. Remember that, Deborah. Not here in the natural, but in the spirit. Take you a package, something that's going to have a bag of seeds in it, because I will never run out. All those little bitty seeds. Take each seed as a meal. I give Yah all praise and all glory and honor for him to teach me that. Each one of those seeds, and I've been collecting seeds since then. And that is what I make sure I have. I might not be able to take these waters and tissues and canned goods, but I'm going to take those seeds because I heard the word of Yah telling me it's going to be food for my flesh. On the journey of fleeing. See, I'm blessing somebody right now that had no idea, but it's blessing somebody, that one. Because if you're waiting for the multitude to hear that, or you waiting for those that's sitting at the table on the other side, they blessing is where their house is at. And it's a beautiful thing how you can connect everything somebody has with tribulation. Tribulation is coming to strip you from everything you got. That's why he said flee. Because tribulation is at hand. It Everybody look like fools who thinking they storing away. I got myself covered. I got me an insurance policy. I got this. I got this insurance on my house. I got this on my cars. I got this. I got this. That's what the world gave you to take you from the spiritual realm of where you should have been. Or you could have been. I ain't gonna say where you should have been, but where you could have been. But I don't know if y'all wrote you in under that. Because when you have a hardened heart and a greed comes from when a person can sit and plot to have everything worldly, but can't give an offering for the table. It's like giving a tip if you won't get worldly, to tell you the truth. They can't even give a tip because their heart is so hardened, like Matthew 24. That's where I'm at. And where is that at, Deborah? Let me get that. In Matthew chapter 24, verse 12, because iniquity shall abound. Watch this here. The love of many shall wax cold. And when we convert that love to give of many shall wax cold. It's already that way. Right when tribulation is already stepped in already. We already in it. So it's letting you know that was before then. Yeshua telling the disciples, this is the end. When verse 12 of Matthew 24, because iniquity shall abound. That iniquity is abounding in you, y'all. That's not somebody doing something to you, somebody teaching you wrong, or somebody doing something to you. That's what's in you. And it says abound, and love of many shall wax cold. People thinking love, baby, it's give, shall wax cold. If you want to use love, but it's just as potent as give, but it's not the truth. But yet, it's just as potent if it's waxed hard. Hello. So whether you want to use love or what Yah mean is give. Why? But he that endure unto the end shall be saved. There's something we must endure. Why is it everybody think they're going to come to the table and eat, get full, drink, get quench their thirst? They're going to come to the table. And after they finish eating, they're going to get up as if they endured something. As if they has endured until the end. People don't even understand you do endure. Being the enemy of Yah at the table of his servant. So you do endure. Being the enemy in the presence of his servant. I've been trying to teach that. People just don't get it. But I'm just so grateful that David had to break that thing down so Sister Deborah can be able to teach that thing in spirit and in truth with the light in her right hand. Okay? So he said in verse 13, but he that shall endure. What is it I'm going to endure? Deborah, what David was telling you. What do you mean? Having the enemy at the same table that Yah prepared for you. Shall be saved. David told you. Let me see what David said. Watch what David said. Beautiful. Yes, it is. It's beautiful what he said. Watch what David said. Surely, Psalms 24. David said, Thou prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemy. So when I be telling y'all my enemy and you're not my friend, you are brick walls, that you're on this page, not meaning nothing to the Father. Because if you don't mean nothing to him, you don't mean nothing to me. And if you don't mean nothing to me, you don't mean nothing to him. He said vice versa. Okay, watch this here. And he said, the presence of my enemy, let's go. Psalms 24 and verse 5. Thou prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemy. Thou anointed my head with oil, my cup overflow. Watch this here. Watch what David said. Surely Surely, Deborah, goodness and mercy shall follow you. He said, me, which is himself, all the days of my life, meaning his living, and I will dwell in the house of Yah forever. See the consequences of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that endure until the end shall be saved. David letting you know I'm supposed to sit at that table. That table is supposed to have a table that y'all prepared, and the enemy on one side, I'm on another. And if the cup is being, wait a minute, where's the anointed? Thy anoint my head. So this is this picture oil coming on my head, and my cup is right here with oil. My cup runneth over. That oil, you are bowed down, have the cup where the oil, which is the anointed of the Father, is spilling over in your cup. And all that oil in your cup is next to your name in the kingdom. So let them clown down here on the earth. Be on the enemy on the other side. How about that? I'm starting to love that. Okay. So when you get to Matthew's, that's exactly what it's saying. It's saying, but he that endured, David endured until the end. And that's why David said, surely I'm in the kingdom already, Deborah. Surely. That's what David was saying. David can't tell that he's in the kingdom, but that's what he said. And I said the same thing. It don't mean anything. People can make it the way they want it, worldly set it, and try to worldly place me. When you finish, I'm the one on the other side of where you at. Try that. Okay. And he said, and he that endure until the end shall be saved. That's what David was talking about in Psalms 24. In spite of me having the table that Yah created, Deborah, he made sure that there was enemy on one side and I was on the other. And I've been preaching that to y'all. And y'all thought it was all about what you give to Sister Deborah. See, I'm just trying to tell you, you on the opposite side of the table than I am. Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna I might go back into hearing the full video of these men because it was really good. It was really good. Okay, another thing I noticed that, and it hurt me, but this is where the ruach is, that comfort in me. 450,000 children. Okay, so I want to explain to you all, I spoke that to many of you all. This stuff don't fade people. People just is numb to anything that's actually happening. That's why I said this country, I can see it down already. I can see the mighty right hand of the Father beating it to a post. I can see that, baby. I can see it. And I can feel that thing. Because all you have to do is watch what all the evil that's in it. It's no way y'all gonna let this type of evil at this type of level continue. It's no way. Okay? And people think they got that evil locked up in their heart and calling it spiritual. Sit down, clowns. So when I see that 450,000, I ain't talking about 450, 100. I'm talking about 450,000. When I heard that yesterday from a news source, I said, Father, I spoke that to people on the platform and it didn't even move people. This is showing you how I get what David is. If it wasn't for David giving me that, now I can place that under a lot of things. Because remember, I used to say brick wall and look at me cockeyed. Now I see why the table that Yah prepared, and he allowed the enemies to sit at the same table that you are on the opposite side. Hello. Y'all always got two directions. Hello. Hello. So what I heard, I said, Father, I spoke on that several times. And it's just like, you notice it don't move people. It really don't. It don't move people. People ain't got, it's numb to wicked and evil at its highest. They are numb to anything righteous, just upright. To do what is right, they know not. That's just people. Okay. So 150,000 is a lot of children. I think about the Mexican and her daughter. Someone came last year, about a year ago, and told me, Miss Deborah, that lady got murdered. And I had no idea she was murdered. They said later on they murdered her and her daughter because she was a security at a truck plant place where things come in and go out. Somewhere they left the door open. It was full of a 53-footer full of parts to children, all legs, everything, just parts of children piled up in this truck. She saw it. She took off running. I'm gonna tell y'all a reason why I know she took off running, because I saw the video myself. The whole world seen this. The whole world, behold, this whole country saw this and did nothing. You tell me that my father ain't gonna throw down. See, y'all sick. Y'all sick. I mean, like that sickness of darkness. If you think for 1 minute, I've given that, I think I at least made about 8 videos on that, about this Mexican lady said that she's, when she did her security, she was just walking and all of a sudden the truck was just kind of cracked open when she saw all those children and they're tore up into pieces. What you all didn't understand, you see Oprah's face, you see her friend Gail. You don't see some of these wealthy people, how their faces constantly keep look like it's being restored. What I understood was the innocent, to eat of the innocent, the evil feel youth is restored. Okay. All people need to do is look at Oprah, look at Gail. Someone have said Oprah is one of the ringleaders under that whole organization. 450,000 children was the reason why they allowed the immigrants in. They allow the immigrants in because your country you are in is the country that is the headquarters of children trafficking organ parts. China used to be, but China ended up still the same thing, but United States took over it as well. Now it's the number one. And just listening to that, I remember that Mexican lady. I'm watching this video, y'all. Like I'm on with this cup. It's as clear as I see this cup. I see that Mexican lady running. And she was videoing herself, or somebody was videoing her because she was crying and hollering. They couldn't even get her under control. All of a sudden, I saw this one woman hit her. She hit her twice. Shut up, shut up. Don't. And it was on live, on video. Tell her, shut up, trying to get her to keep quiet. Well, what she had saw. She said, but no, oh, bodies of children. Oh, she was still couldn't control herself. Nationwide video. And here today, people acting like that's not true. That ain't true. I'm so grateful for a creator who created all things. He's high and low. He's left on every side. And he sees what he sees. He knows what he knows because he's already seen it. And I like how he's going to step in and do what he does in the way that he's going to do it. My only issue is how long, Father God? How long? Because a couple of years ago, I brought it up, or maybe not quite 2 years, and someone texted me, a person I never knew, said, I remember that case. I remember that. I saw that too. But later on, they murdered her and her daughter in her house. I said, see there? Their way of doing things on this earth is to murder you and kill you. That's this country is good at that. They are not just this country, but all the ones that detach to Satan's territory. And I can't keep blaming Satan as a form of one that I can't even say that he's doing it. I believe, because I feel if people come down here this way, then they come down here to do just that, and heaven knew it. Okay? So it's in them already. So even with Sister Deborah, I'm learning it, but it's not stopping me from teaching spirit and truth on it. But I'm learning, I'm still learning But it's still not going to stop me from teaching spirit and truth, because I have taught you tools, and I broke them tools down. You either worship, you're about one or you're about the other down here on this earth. You're either about the one or about the other down here on this earth. But what people do, they bombard their mind to make you the enemy at the table. Fail to realize the way y'all orchestrated is like David said, and they too ignorant to see that. But just to see how 450,000 came over, that was the plan. Trump, when he was in office, remember he was talking about building the wall. Trump never built that wall. That was just a scheme. It's no such thing as Republicans and Democratic among the elites. They are power. They're not Republicans and Democrats. They're not about your vote. They know your vote don't mean a rat's behind. It's about power that they control. Okay? So the whole idea of allowing the immigrants to come over is because they knew that Mexico and Mexicans, when they come across the border, they bring gugas of children. And that's how they end up with 450,000 missing children. Now you hear the United States talking about it. And even if they're talking about it, it doesn't matter. The elites got it covered. That you can talk all you want, but that's as far as you go. You ain't gonna come to no conclusion what we have done. You ain't gonna come to nothing. Who's gonna have to do that? My Father in the kingdom. And you know how that Father in the kingdom gonna do it? Heavens is at hand. Where is that at, Deborah? Going right back to the Matthew 24. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness. Witness means you're going to see something. But what is it you're going to see? It's not the gospel as they have lied to you. It's the power of the kingdom that's coming down to cut up from the floor. See, y'all got thought that the gospel was what they preached and teach, and how the Roman Catholic instilled in all of y'all stupidity. That gospel is the power of the Yah right hand. And it's coming by Christ. Not by the Son of Man, but by Christ shall the power of the kingdom be seen. So what is happening? You're going to see my power. That's the gospel. You're going to hear my power, because you're going to witness it eye to eye. That's what we're experiencing in this day and time. You want to mess with him? You messed with the wrong one. To go on and bleed this world, because you are of the world. So 150,000 children, that's a lot of children. Now they are trying to say, they said this on the news yesterday, that they're missing. Mexicans. How is it that they got to stay over here in this country? They become missing, but their families were immigrants, and you brought out the martial law or the military to take them back. But where are the babies? Why ain't them children, 450,000 children, where they at? Why ain't they gone back? See how stupid this country is? Do you see how dumb these people in this country is? You have to give the credit of the dumbness and the stupid and the naive and the wicked and evil. You have to give it to the majority, Europeans. You have to. I know it. They don't want to hear that. And I don't give a rat's behind. I'm speaking spirit and truth. You have to give it to them. They are the one that's been ruling this country. They are the one that's the majority. They are the one that it has caused this wicked and evil to come upon their own land. But yet you don't want to make it about them. Use a fool, and you're going to live a fool and die a fool. Come on here, Deborah. They are the one that took these 450,000 children. They knew why they let them immigrants over. They let them over just to get them out, as long as they got what they wanted. 450,000 missing children. They gained wealth everywhere for those children, whether they was cut up in parts or whatever. Wealth all over the world for 450,000 children that this country did. And y'all run y'all dumb, stupid tails around trying to judge Sister Deborah, trying to look at me all cockeyed because you the brick wall. They done that. This is the country you're trying to build your home up in. This is the country that you're trying to make sure you got everything for your flesh. And you ain't got nothing to represent. You serve the spirit of who God is. You just like unto them. And heaven know it. Okay. So just to think of that many children gone like that, and the world of this country marvel off of it, and the world benefit from it. They used the United States to bring them immigrants in just to transport those 450 children around the world for all the reason that rest on the dark of the wicked of the wicked. Sexual traffic, organ traffic, flesh traffic, eating it. John Kilpatrick, I think it's Kilpatrick. I don't know. That's how I think it's pronounced. He says that there is something going on that people are really ignoring. He's a pastor of a Christian church. He's saying that there's something going on that everybody is ignoring. And the beauty of what he's saying is so true. That's why I say, now I wouldn't line up with him as far as Christian belief and what he's doing, but what is he speaking? He says that there is a force of evil that many of people are drawing into. People are going into this lifestyle that appear to be evil. And he said they're joining the forces of the enemy. And he has to be probably like 75. But he's a known one. If you saw him, you know. And he said this is what he see. Even amongst the Christian organization. A darkness. It ain't that he's what he don't understand. It's not that it's just something that's just happening today. It always been there. But because Yah is shining the light, because Yah is shining the light on darkness. Now they trying to piece it together, and guess what? They're not going to. Only way people get things is when they come across somebody like me, the servant of the Most High Yah, who is already assigned as one of the sons in the kingdom. Someone who's going to spill it out in spirit and truth with the light in my right hand. And this is what they don't understand. The light of the Father. It's in the midst of darkness, bringing the truth of the light out of, watch this, the midst of darkness. It's coming, it's pulling out of darkness, out of the midst of darkness, and shining light. But guess what? The light that's being shined is not for them to come into righteous. It's wanting you to understand, and I'm going to end right here because I got an awesome message this evening. Light. He wanting you to understand that light always was the power over darkness. And it can pull out of darkness at any time. And because we're at the level of where darkness cannot reach, y'all really don't understand it. It can't get no darker than what it is. And I know you'll say, well, I don't think it's so bad. Oh, yes, it is. It's just that you're got the eyesight of darkness. You're born for the flesh. So you ain't going to see darkness for what it is today. Only those who are called, appointed, and anointed to walk in the light, the direction of the light with spirit and truth, can see that we are in, I call it blue-black darkness. Darkness as high as darkness can be. When I stand here and tell you 25,000 children during this this immigrant things, letting them come across the border, that this country you in, that you worship, that you serve, you pay taxes, you spend your money, and you sit and worship it to be your home for eternal. This is the type of darkness that you represent, and it represents you, that would do stuff like this, and you say it's not darkness. Sick people, or people that served darkness itself. Well, Yah is bringing the light out of darkness. Not that you're going to change. That's not why he's doing it. It's because he all power. He is the mighty light. So that he can do that. It's time for us to see his light. Those who can see light. It's time for us to see his light. But we have to first realize that it's as dark can get. Why? Because we have to be able to feel that thing. How can we feel that thing, Sister Deborah? The Ruach in you spills out spirit and truth, so you'll know the truth of the whole matter, and the truth shall set you free. And that darkness that he has to shine in you of himself, not darkness but light, he has to show you that light is greater than darkness. Can you see that darkness, Deborah? Yeah, endure it, baby, until the end. You shall be saved, but you got to endure it. Endure what? This midnight darkness that walks around and portray it don't exist. Shalom and shalom. I will be back at 7 p.m. Central Time. Shalom.